What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today, Riot just a couple hours ago actually released this new Fiddlesticks rework gameplay preview video. It's a video that kind of shows the gameplay of what the new Fiddlesticks is going to be, this new reworked, very scary, very terrifying Fiddlesticks. We had the champion teaser released yesterday. It was super great. It did really well on YouTube. It got a ton of views. And then in this video, they do run through some of his abilities, but they don't explain exactly what they do. So I wanted to watch this video with you guys and then explain exactly what they do. Here we see his passive, where we see this fake scary Fiddlesticks thing that we could actually see earlier in this video. Here you see the Jarvan attacking what is like fake Fiddlesticks, and we're wondering what that is, how that works. So here is actually his passive, a harmless Scarecrow. Fiddlesticks, his trinket is actually replaced by these fake Scarecrows. You can drop these fake Scarecrows down using your trinket button, and they actually do grant you vision. Starting at level 6, placing a Scarecrow actually reveals nearby wards for 6 seconds too, so they actually kind of act as pink wards in a way, which is really crazy. When an enemy champion who approaches this fake Fiddlesticks, it causes the fake Fiddlesticks to fake an action, either basic attacking or casting CROWSTORM, and then the effigy destroys itself. The fake Fiddlesticks are called effigies. So that's how that works. It's really interesting. It's a really interesting concept, totally new mechanic coming into the game, and it's going to be really interesting learning how to play around the fake Fiddlesticks, who's real, who's fake, and whatever else. Then next up, we're going to watch his Q and kind of explain what that is as well. It is called TERRIFY. As you can see there, it is a click on Q, but first of all, there's actually a passive on this ability. The passive is while out of combat and unseen, so Fiddlesticks is completely unseen. If he damages an enemy with an ability, they become terrified or feared, fleeing in the opposite direction. And then the active is actually when you Q onto a target, you terrify them. As you can see here, Garen is getting terrified and running in the opposite direction. That's how the Q works. It does a little bit of damage and fears them in the opposite direction. And then you can see here, they actually have this circle debuff on them. If an enemy has been recently feared, terrified by Fiddlesticks, then the next Q will do increased damage to him, but it will not actually fear him. So that's pretty interesting. That is how the Q works. Next up, we got the W, Bountiful Harvest. As you can see, it looks very similar to his old W, Drain, but he's actually doing it to multiple targets here. So with the W, Bountiful Drain, Fiddlesticks drains the souls of all nearby enemies, damaging them continuously over a few seconds and healing Fiddlesticks based on damage dealt. The last tick damages and heals based on the target's missing health. If Bountiful Harvest fully channels, or if no enemies remain to be harvested, Bountiful Harvest cooldown is partially refunded. So it's just kind of a better version of Drain in a way. You're getting AoE healing. It's going to be curious to see how much damage that ability actually does, but that is how the W works. Next up, we have the E, called Reap. As you can see, it's a little cone-shaped AoE ability, and then if you hit them with the center of the Reap, it actually does silence enemies too. So that ability actually has a lot of usefulness and could be really good. The text for it reads, Fiddlesticks damages and slows enemies in a crescent-shaped area in front of itself. Enemies in the center of the crescent are also silenced. So you have a bunch of AoE damage, then you have a silence as well, which is actually pretty interesting. And then finally is CROWSTORM, his ultimate ability. Looks very similar to his old ult, just looks much scarier, much more terrifying, and honestly looks a lot cooler. Fiddlesticks channels before blinking to the target location and continuously damages nearby enemies for several seconds, so that ability is overall pretty much the same. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. I just wanted to run through this new gameplay preview for the reworked Fiddlesticks and explain some of the abilities to you guys, because I know this video does show you a lot of information, but it's not completely clear on some of the things, so I wanted to clear that up a little bit and get this video out to you guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to stay updated on all my latest content, and hopefully I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.